I decided that I would leave my empty marriage. I'd been married 36 years, and it just wasn't working. It wasn't nurturing either one of us. One thing I have to tell you is before I made that big move, I had to come face to face with the fear of living alone. I didn't know if I could do it. I had moved from my parents' home into my marriage, and I'm an uber extrovert, so I have to have people around me. How could I even cook for one person? What would I do in the evenings? There were so many questions, but I decided to brave it. So I moved out on November 1st, 2010, and I am still in that apartment. I call it my soft landing, and it's been wonderful. And I have learned to live alone. I'm self-employed, so I work on my own many days, and in the evening, if I don't have any plans, I'll go out to the library or do groceries or just to be around people and have some energy. So I made a list of the fears that no longer serve me. There's fears that hold us back. And I decided that I'd work on that list. The next one that came up after the fear of living alone was the fear of heights. My father had taught me the fear of heights. I was totally unable to really get up on a ladder. When you go over the subway, the viaduct on the subway, oh, my knees were jelly even if I was sitting down. And after only a few sessions, emotional freedom technique, some tapping, I was getting really daring. And I decided for my 56th birthday that I would book the CN Tower Edge Walk with a girlfriend. Yeah, I did. And it took a lot of self-talk to just say, I'm going to do this. I'm going to calm my imagination. I'm going to do this. But I still wanted to bolt when I heard that there was rain up there. I thought, what the heck? But of course, all they did was give us rain gear instead, right? And it was amazing. Sure, I was scared. I mean, it was awful in some ways, but I could do it. And I was strapped in, and it was so frigging awesome to look out over the city. And I didn't even pee my pants. I thought, if I pee, it actually goes down there, Like, I'm going to just rain on people, Yeah, so I did it. But how did it impact my life? Let me tell you, letting go of the fear of heights was amazing. I have gone on to do some remarkable things that would never have been possible without letting go of that fear. One that jumps to mind, when I was in Cape Town, South Africa, in 2013 to celebrate my divorce, I was on Signal Hill, which is by Table Mountain, and I'm walking up, and I pick up this flyer on the ground, and it's about a tandem paragliding lesson. How lucky am I, right? I have no fear of heights, and I'm going to go. So, sure enough, I get up there and find the nice fellow who doesn't speak much English and seems to be very confident that I can do this. And off we go. We jump into the air off the side of a hill, and it was really otherworldly. I actually put a little video up on YouTube if you want to look at my channel. But it was really peaceful, and every time I see a bird, especially any kind of a hunting bird, just floating on the breeze, I remember that special moment that wouldn't have been possible without overcoming my fear of heights. So I'm in a new long-term relationship now. Yes. We'll continue seeing each other for another decade before we can live together, as he needs to finish raising his child. I do believe that the fear of being a step-parent is a good one to hang on to. Yeah. And we support each other to become the best version of ourselves, and it's a loving and supportive place for me to be. And thank you, Ramsey. He's here tonight. And So there were lots of other things on my list. Fear of sharks was another one that I've overcome. I adore swimming in the ocean. I adore swimming, period, but swimming in the ocean is awesome. And when I was in South Africa, I found a shark cage diving. And once I learned all about these amazing creatures, I knew that I couldn't be afraid of being in the ocean anymore. And we just had such a fantastic time. Anyway, so my most recent fear that I've slayed was this year, my fear of traveling alone. So I borrowed a backpack, a big thing, and I hit the road for 9 weeks. And I had some awesome experiences. And every time I met a person my age, they had the same reaction. They'd look at me, they'd look at the backpack, they'd look at me, they'd look at the backpack, and they'd say, "Where are you going?" to the backpack. And I'd say, "Well, I'm going to take that backpack and I'm going here." And they'd say, "You're so brave." And I'd say, "No, actually, I thought it was going to be scary and I was being brave, but it's nothing of the sort." But I want you to consider creating your own list. What fears do you have that no longer serve you? What's holding you back? We each have a choice. As I continue to age, I don't want my life to get smaller and more restricted. I want to channel my superhero powers to get more out of this life than I ever imagined. What will you choose?